Ladies and gentlemen, delighted to be here for the inaugural meeting of the, now let me get it right, because I'm doing 6 in a row almost, Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board. We have a proper formal process in which to go through this evening, where each of you will be reading your declaration and signing your documentation. But before we do that, could I please ask you all to stand and to join me in the karakia for the board. Everybody ready? Thank you. I'm now going to call you up in a particular order, which will be alphabetical, for you to do your declaration. I will then ask you to sign your documentation, and there will be a photograph taken while you're doing it. Okay, so I'm going to ask Tim Baker, please, to come first. Two documents to sign, okay. I have a long signature.
It's about time we met too.
If you could read your book.
My pronunciation's not brilliant. That's okay. Ko Timothy Rewe Pika, me taku kupu tune, ka tutuki kia hau, ki taku e pono ne, na kawanga katoa e painga mo te haporo o Coastal-Burwood-Linwood e runga I te manaku kua riro mai e a hau. He mema o te wari hahore o Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood, na te nā kaupai o te tue wangatanga a rorehe roa mano ma roa te turi parongo huenga o kawa ka wangatanga a rore ko tahi mano iwarau waru te kau mā whitu me I tahi atu turi rene. He mea whakau tēnei I o tautahi I tēnei rā roa te kau mā ono o whiriranga anuku I te tau roa mano roa te kau mā roa. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Congratulations. Are you happy for them to take this certificate with them, or would you like to keep it? Yep. Okay. Thank you. Kelly Barber. Yes, if you like, Kelly, that's fine. Yes, please.
I, Kelly John Ashby Barber, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Sign.
Put it there
as well, please.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh, you want me to? Yeah, it's also contrived. Thank you very much. So you want to keep the?
Yes, yeah, I'll keep the dodgy one. Celeste, Donovan, Celeste.
I, Celeste Marie Donovan, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of the Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community and in the powers, authorities, and duties vested in or imposed on me as a member of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information Act and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Please sign for that. Thank you. As well. Thank you.
Nice, keep it.
Alexander Hewson. Please.
I, Alexander Hewson, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute, perform in the best interests of the Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Acts 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Excellent. Would you please sign there and there?
Well done, Alex, the youngest man in New Zealand.
Yeah. Danny Johansson. Should you go,
I, Gunnar Johansson, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of the Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community the powers, authorities, and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Thank you.
Cool.
Sign
Thanks.
there, thanks.
This way, Yanni. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Paul.
I, Paul George McMahon, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interest of the Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
I can swap with you. You can sign that one, please.
Look this way.
I, Gregory John Mitchell, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community the powers, authorities and duties vested or imposed upon me as a member of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002 and the Local Government Official Information and Meeting Act 1987, or any other act.
Fantastic. Please sign there and there. I'll try. Simons.
I, Jacqueline Simons, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of the Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Excellent, thank you. You can sign that and that. Brilliant. Thank you. Last but definitely not least. Well, you are.
I, Joanne Marie Zervos, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community, the powers, authorities and duties vested or imposed upon me as a member of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Excellent, thank you.
Looking this way.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations to you all. Right, we now move on to the election of the chairperson. First I'd like to ask you, which voting system are you intending to utilise? A or voting B?
Aye.
Aye.
Definitely aye.
A?
That sounds good.
Yeah, consensus.
Okay, so can I have calls for nominations for the chairperson?
Yeah, I'll nominate Paul McMahon.
Ma'am, do I have a seconder?
I'll second.
Yeah, okay, okay. Right, now if we're using voting A, John,
If you're using voting A, how many nominations do we have?
just the one by the look of it.
Oh, right.
Oh, that was quite
Just ask for the vote. Yep, if there's a majority, the one wins.
Can I please have your votes, please? Those in
Aye.
favour say aye or show your hands.
Aye.
Aye. That looks like it's unanimous.
Excellent.
Congratulations. You would like to come and do your declaration, please?
I, Paul George McMahon, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of the Coastal-Burwood-Linwood community the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as the chairperson of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002 and the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Thank you. Sign that, Paul. Put your name in. Talking on to my congratulations. And the
Thank you very much, our colleagues. It is a tremendous privilege to be elected the chair with all of your support. And thank you for Dawn for running the meeting. I just want to take the opportunity to acknowledge my family who are here, my wife Anne and my son Enda, and our younger son Finton, who is giving us the background sound effects. I'm just really grateful that they're able to make it and for all their love and support. I just want to sort of start off with a little, just a little something. And so if you want to understand what drives me, it's social justice. It comes from growing up in a working class environment, seeing the impacts of Rogernomics and euthanasia, of things being done to us, not with us. It comes from the work that I've done in similar communities as an adult, and it comes from being shaped by non-conformist Christianity and democratic socialism and the labour movement. And I believe really strongly in community boards because I believe strongly in the principle of subsidiarity, that decisions should be made as closely as possible to the communities and the people who are most affected by them. And when Christchurch was the best governed city in the world, we had strong, well-funded community boards with significant delegations, making decisions that people understood and could connect to. In those times, people had immense confidence in their council. And I want to say to your board colleagues, I've said to you informally, I'm a Democrat first and foremost. Before any of my other commitments, I believe in democracy. And so I want to be a fair chair. I want to ensure everyone gets a say. I want to ensure everybody has a chance to contribute to meetings and to the work of the board. And I want it to be enjoyable and orderly and fair. And, you know, we all agree that it's time for a fair deal for the East. And that's why we're all here. So kia ora koutou katoa. Thank you. And now we will move to the election of the deputy chairperson. We'll use the same election system. And I would like to call for nominations for deputy chairperson.
I nominate Jackie Simons.
Jackie, and seconded by Celeste. So that's moved by Tim, seconded by Celeste. Do we have any other nominations? All right, no. If we don't, then I'll call for a vote. Simple majority. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? Carry. Thank you. Well, and the next item on the agenda then, now that we've appointed the chair and deputy chair, is the explanation of statutory requirements, and all that's required, I believe, is for us to pass the staff recommendation, which I will come to in a second. So the officer recommendations and item number 2, point number 2, and item 6 is that the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board receive the information in the report. Is there any discussion? No discussion. Would someone like to move that then? Moved by Jackie, seconded by Celeste. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. All right, and so the next item is number 7, the date of the first ordinary meeting. So we do you have those dates for me, please?
9th for the 11th at 4 o'clock.
There we go. So we have a resolution. So I'll put that from the chair unless there's any further discussion. Right, I'll put that. So that the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board, pursuant to Schedule 7, Clause 21(5)(d) of the Local Government Act 2002, resolves that the first 2 ordinary meetings of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood-Linwood Community Board, I'm just going to keep saying Waitai from now on, that the Waitai Community Board be held on Wednesday, the 9th of November 2022 at 4 p.m, Monday, the 21st of November 2022 at 5 p.m, and we need to amend it to say the first 3 ordinary meetings. Yep, thank you. Monday, the 12th of December 2022 at 5 p.m. in the boardroom, corner of Union and Beresford Streets in Brighton. It's been moved from the chair. So seconded by Tim. Did you have some? You have some a debating point, do you?
Yeah, just one point.
Okay, Yanni, you are welcome to.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate this is the inaugural meeting of the board, but I just would hope at the first ordinary meeting of our board that we could invite the newly elected, well, all the elected members to actually be able to give a speech about why they stood and what they want to achieve, just in the same way that we've done at council. So I just sort of wanted to raise that. I think it's really important. I welcome hearing from our chair, but it would be really great also to hear from all the board members to be able to have an opportunity to just say a few words in support of why they're in the role and what they want to achieve. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Yanni. All right. Well, we'll finish off this item, and before the karakia whakamutanga, I'll ask members if they would like to. We'll start with community board members who've been newly elected, and and see if councillors would like to reply. So I'm going to put that. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. All right. Thank you. Well, before we close off the meeting, and invite our members to speak briefly, if you would like. I invite Jackie as a new deputy chair. If she would like, has anything she'd like to say to your colleagues and your people assembled here.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'll stand, but I don't actually do much taller than I'm sitting. For those of you who don't know me, I'm just a working class girl from Linwood. I grew up in Woolston when every family had a breadwinner, when every family was able to send their kids to the pool on Saturday, when every family was able to partake in sporting teams and so on. I've watched over my lifetime while that society that I grew up has been eroded as our jobs were exported to Bangladesh and China, and my people in Woolston and Linwood and Aranui and Coastal and Burwood, a lot of them are now struggling, low income, unable to find jobs, unable to work. So for me, I want a better deal for what we've got going on in the East of Christchurch. I want to see our roads fixed. I want to actually stand out and be able to say that your kids can learn to swim, because my grandchildren haven't been able to, because there's no money in our family to actually pay for swimming lessons in addition to the 1 week they get swimming. I want to be able to say that your kids are going to be able to play sport, your grandchildren are going to be able to play sport and not have to worry about where they're going to get the money for their boots or their uniforms. I want our roads to be fixed. I want our communities to be safer. But the bottom line is, I am and always will be just a working class girl from Linwood. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Craig Mitchell. I'm really new to this, but one of the things I come in with is a hell of a big passion. The passion I have is for our areas. I've lived in Burwood my whole life. I love the area. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. The things that I want to really push for going forward is like Jackie said, is the repair of some of those things, infrastructure and roads that are still missing after the earthquake. As a collective of boards, of community areas and wards, we've really bolt together and to find the eastern suburbs and become a really good united group, I think, and the chats we've had already can definitely attest to that. For me, it's really similar, actually. I could have just copied what you've said, is kids playing sport is massive for me. My kids do it. I've coached junior sports teams, and I think it's a huge thing for kids to get out there, to keep themselves out of trouble, but just to grow, make good friends going forward. And it's a huge part of who I am as a person, and I think as a community we can learn a lot from being part of a team, working together through sport as a whole. Sport as a whole can also help our mental state as well. It's a huge thing for me that can help people just not exist, but really grow in their environments and thrive in their environments as well. Through my involvement with disability sport, I've also found that accessibility through the earthquakes has really been limited, and the fixing of the roads and the footpaths and things like that is an area with, I mean, we have one of 2 spinal units in the country in our ward. So we need to make sure that the facilities are accessible, the transport's accessible in relative to those spaces, because we do have an above average proportion of disability people in our area. So those are the things that are really key to me, making sure there's also a bit of facility in our area, to particularly in the north of the Burwood area anyway, a community facility, sports space as well. We're lacking in something like that. So something like that's something I really want to pursue as well. But on the whole, I just want to be a part of this, grow forward, and then involve our community and not come in predetermined on what I'm going to do, but I want to help the community grow from where they are and what they want to do going forward.
Thank you.
Rightio, so I've been brought up in the coastal ward and I'm a beach girl, surf life sailor my whole life and into water. So I've actually worked for the council for 30 years as an exercise instructor as well. So I've got a wee bit of a conflict when it comes to council facilities with pools. I'm really, really passionate about the area. I just want to see it, after the earthquakes, how we were just decimated. We lost whole communities. People here went through the mill, and we've lost so many communities within the river corridor in South Shore, Brooklands. And we need to actually focus on actually repairing the damage from the earthquake. We've had COVID emergencies, climate change emergencies, but we still haven't focused on our original one from the earthquakes. We need to fix the roads, the paths, look at flooding, stormwater, crime and safety is a really big issue that's getting worse and worse. So all those kind of initiatives I'm really, really passionate about.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'll keep this brief. I'd like to say thank you, first of all, to the Coastal Ward. If you guys don't know, currently I'm the youngest member elected in New Zealand. So it's a really big privilege to be able to come to the table with a new perspective. Growing up in North New Brighton, growing up with the issues that we've faced, broken roads, flooded streets, but also the socio-economic inequality that we're facing, they're really big things for me. And I just want to say one thing to everyone is that this term you will be heard. And I'm really optimistic with this board. We've got such a vast range of experience around these tables, and we've all got a common goal. And I'm really optimistic towards this year and the following two after that. So thank you.
Okay, I'm still asking myself that question. I was on the board for 9 years. I was running between the two big quakes, September and February. That first year I went to 1,000 meetings, which is stupid. It wasn't just community board, it was community. We're doing 5 a day at some stages. After 9 years of thousands of meetings, I burned out. It was just too much. And also I disagreed with my colleagues sitting on that side of the room. So I think I'm an agitator, and I promised Dawn I won't come and see you in the next 3 years like I did last time. But I think more could be done council-wise. If we really want to clean the rivers up, it's going to cost $1 billion. We've got to make decisions. We've got to have a plan. It won't be 2 years. It could be 20 years. But that's the sort of stuff I want to get involved with. I think the community will come on board if we can come up with a good plan, not just for the east, but for the whole of Christchurch. Rubbish, everything that goes in the gutter is going to end up in the Avon and out to sea. What are we going to do about that? So I've got big hopes, and I'm very confident we've got a brilliant team here. Just getting to know the staff. I hope you guys are as good as they were 3 years ago. From what I hear, you probably are. So yeah, I've got a massive amount of stuff on the agenda, and if we can achieve 10% of that next 3 years, I'll be pleased. Thank you.
Celeste, would you like to?
Thank you. Well, I just want to welcome everyone. Thank you for coming along. And I think I just want to echo what everyone here has already said. I'm feeling really optimistic. I think we've got a pretty incredible team around the table, and really looking forward to working with everyone and also working with staff again. It's great to be here for a full term and actually see what we can achieve. I know that, we're coming together with 3 boards now, and I think, that's something that we should see as an opportunity, and actually we're here to all support each other. So, and also across the city, I think we've got to be sort of not so much about but about we, and what can we achieve together. And what I'd like to see is that we all listen to each other and understand what the priorities are in our different areas, and also recognising that as a city, we've got some challenges ahead with climate change, and I want to see us be brave and show leadership as a city. And also across the city, we've got challenges when it comes to climate change, and I want us to kind of be leaders really in whatever we choose to prioritise, but not be afraid of making changes. And I guess the final thing is actually we're all here to represent the communities, that across the areas that we are elected to represent. And I'm really excited to know that we're all kind of got that real local focus in terms of getting people involved in local decision making, and having not only the youngest elected member, but the most longest serving elected member. We're really lucky in that we have, some really diverse perspectives around the table. So I just want to say Yeah, welcome to everyone, and I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. I'll try and get this quite brief as well, because councils, obviously we've had the opportunity at council. But yesterday I was at the opening of a youth leadership symposium, mainly focused on young people and mental health. But I thought what was really interesting is we were advised that one of the metrics they use to determine how people are feeling is the concept of cheerfulness, right? And I think the goal for this community board that I'd like to see is that we increase cheerfulness in our communities who have actually struggled for a very long time, particularly because of the exacerbation of first the earthquakes and then the pandemic. And I think what we're seeing is a huge rise in inequity, both in the environment and in the social aspects of places that we represent, that does need a deliberate and targeted focus on being addressed. And, so what I would love to see as a community board is that we do get out there in the community, that we do address some of those inequities that exist, because there's simply no good reason why people on this side of town should have broken footpaths, broken roads, broken parks, unkempt cemeteries, flooding, and so forth. And there's no reason why they should have worse air quality, why they should have offensive and objectionable odours, why they should have rivers that are polluted and degrading and getting worse, and why they shouldn't have a basic standard of amenity that's just equitable across the city. So that will be my focus. And the second thing that I would love to see as someone who was fortunate enough to first be elected to a community board in 2001, is that council actually recognises the importance of local community boards by strengthening them and giving them the resources to do more efficient decision making at a local level based on what the community needs are. And I think there's huge power in our local community boards, and I'm really glad to hear that most people have talked about that, because I think for the Linwood ward coming into the coastal Burwood, the other really important thing is that there is a just transition that's recognised that there's a deficit and that we need to turn that into a strength, and we need to make sure that resources are there to address it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lars. So my name's Kelly Barber. I am the eldest of 8 kids. Grew up, born in Christchurch, lived in Nelson till I was 19, went overseas to university and then came to Canterbury in about 1985, I think it was. So we were born, Alex. My family has a long history in this community and in this city. My great-grandfather was mayor of Christchurch in the 1930s. He was a man who went to the UK as an 18-year-old and saw incredible poverty and never wanted to see that here in New Zealand, and was actively involved throughout his professional life in ensuring that didn't continue with some success. So I follow in his tradition, have a real heart for those who are disenfranchised, who miss out in society. But at the same time, I came from a family where we never had much because there were so many of us, I guess, 8 kids. But we all kind of worked hard and had great opportunities for education, and very, very proud of my upbringing and having the opportunities and the things that I learned there. So I've kind of come to community service a little later in life after being involved in my children's schools and raising my family as best I could. I feel that if we all raised our kids really well, the world would be a great place. And so I was a little late coming to public service. I'm the previous chair of the Waitai Coastal-Burwood Community Board before Linwood joined. It's been a great highlight of my life being involved in community board. I couldn't be more excited about the people who are around this table. In some capacity, I've known each one of them, and they're an impressive bunch of people with good hearts. And I think that we'll be able to make a real difference. I have a slightly different take on a lot of things. I'm an eternal optimist. I think that together we can achieve a lot. I'm not into the politics of jealousy, what other people have and we don't have, but I think that this area, this part of town can do better, can have more. We're very blessed in a lot of the wonderful things that we do have and the attention that has been paid to this side of town, but there's always more we can do. And I'll be advocating as much as possible around the council table for all 3 wards. I love this part of town. I love these people. I spent years of my life out in the surf. I'm a beach boy too, Joe. So yeah, I hope we can really work together. And I think what I've seen so far, it's been really positive. And I'm really hopeful that we can bring some changes. Super proud of the fact that we have the youngest community board member in the country. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Had a bit of an association with Alex, and I think he's a wonderful man. And with Yanni's background and wisdom for his many, many years serving our city, I think we're in good stead. And with someone like Greg, who is the coach of the Wheel Blacks, who's given a lot to his community, with Joe, who is one of the highest polling community board members in the city and a really passionate advocate for her community. Tim, again, an amazing guy. I've had a lot of time with things to do with Tim and have been so impressed with his service to the community. Jackie, I've only known for a short period of time, but I like a good working class person.
Honorary grandmother.
And honorary grandmother. And Paul, whom I've had a little bit to do with, been really impressed with your attitude to being open to everybody on the board and their ideas. And I think you'll make a fantastic chair, and you have my full support. And Celeste, I think I've missed you out, so who thrashed me in the last election, but I'm back. In the right community for me. Celeste is a wonderful advocate for her community, a real thinker, and very easy to deal with and talk to. Has a powerful intellect, and I think with this mix of people, I think we're going to do really, really well. So I'm really excited to be here and representing Burwood as the new city councillor.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. I think the coastal Burwood joined Linwood.
Well, this will be my first time, and it will not be the last. That's not a point of order. Without further ado, lest we keep all our friends and family and staff any longer, please stand for a karakia, which will be up on the board. Unahia, ki te tapu nui, kia wātia, kia mama, te ngākau, te titanga, te wairua, I eti ara takata, koia rā e rongo, whakaia, ki rongo, kia tina, hui tai. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a board photo now, do we?
Is it? I will declare the meeting closed.
Thanks.
You can go.